In this video, I will go through the common grammar mistakes and how to correct them. There are so much people. The correction is, there are so many people. Much and many both refer to a large quantity of something. However, the difference is that much is used for uncountable nouns and many is used for countable nouns. The noun people is a countable noun. Therefore, we use the word many. There are so many people. I am 22 year. The correction is, I am 22 years old. If you're going to use the word year, then it's important to put an S at the end to make it plural, and to add the word old. However, in everyday spoken English, I may just say, I am 22. It's going to be sunny tomorrow. This is a common mistake, and here we're forgetting to add an apostrophe because it's is a contraction of it is. Therefore, we put the apostrophe in the place of the missing letter. It's going to be sunny tomorrow. There is 3 books in the box. In this example, there is a plural noun, therefore we use the plural verb are. There are 3 books in the box. If there was 1 book in the box, then I would say that there is 1 book in the box. It's important to make sure that there is a subject-verb agreement in order for the sentence to make sense. So, if there is a singular noun, then we use a singular verb. Likewise, if there is a plural noun, then we use a plural verb. We met 3 years before. The correction is, we met 3 years ago. So we use the word ago instead of before. It's important to note that we don't use the word before on its own. So if you want to use before, then you have to refer to a period of time or an event that occurred. For example, we met 3 years before we got married. That's she's handbag. The correction is, that's her handbag. So, as you can see, we need to use the correct possessive adjective, her. I like a lot the coffee. The correction is, I like coffee a lot. I was boring in class. The correction is, I was bored in class. So we use the ed form of the adjective, bored. Remember, the ing form is used when we are referring to the cause, and the ed form is used when referring to the effect. For example, I could say that the class was boring, therefore I was bored. So the cause is that the class was boring. The effect is that I was bored. I have been a teacher since 3 years. The correction is, I have been a teacher for 3 years. We use since when we are referring to a specific time, and for when we are talking about a period of time. So in this example, 3 years is a period of time, therefore we use for. I have been a teacher for 3 years. If I wanted to use since correctly, I can say, I have been a teacher since 2015. So I'm referring to a specific time. I have completed the 5 months course. The correction is, I have completed the 5-month course, so we don't add an S. In this example, I am describing the course, therefore I don't add the S at the end of the 5 months. This is also the same if we're referring to days, weeks, or years. Where I can buy a wedding dress. The correction is, where can I buy a wedding dress? The correct question format is the question word, followed by the auxiliary verb, the subject, then the main verb. So in this example, where is the question word? The auxiliary verb is can, the subject is I, and the main verb is buy. Where can I buy a wedding dress? Zara's bag is red. The correction is to add the possessive apostrophe because the bag belongs to Zara. So we add apostrophe S. Jane are studying in the library. The correction is, Jane is studying in the library. Here is another example where we need to make sure there is subject-verb agreement. Jane is a singular noun, therefore we use a singular verb, is. I like to play the basketball. The correction is, I like to play basketball. So, we remove the article as it's incorrectly used. I am go to school. Here, the wrong verb tense is used. The correction is, I am going to school. This is the present continuous tense as I am talking about an action that is ongoing now. She live in Spain. In this example, the incorrect verb form is used for the subject. Instead, it should be, she lives in Spain. As you can see, the verb live has an S at the end. Lives. You're beautiful. In this example, I've used the wrong word. Your is an adjective that refers to something that belongs to the person being spoken to. Therefore, it's incorrect to use in this context. The correction is your. U apostrophe R-E. This is a contraction of you are. So we can say you're beautiful or you are beautiful. She have gone to the park. Again, we need to make sure there is subject-verb agreement. The correction is, she has gone to the park. Remember, with subjects I, you, we, they, the verb have is used, and with subjects she and he, the verb has is used. She has gone to the park. If you want to express how good your English skills are, you may say, I am very good in English. However, this is incorrect. Instead, you say, I am very good at English. You can say I'm very good in English if you're talking about how good you are in the English class. However, when you're talking about your English skills, it's better to use the preposition at. I'm very good at English. Another way of saying this is, I'm very good at speaking in English. The last example is, Sam went to the shopping centre. He bought a shirt. This is an example of a comma splice because we have two independent clauses that are joined with a comma and no conjunction. A clause contains a subject and a verb. There are 4 ways you can correct a comma splice. The first way is to add a full stop between the two clauses. Like this. Sam went to the shopping centre. He bought a shirt. Each clause has a verb and a subject, therefore it makes sense on its own. You can also add a conjunction. For example, and. Sam went to the shopping centre and he bought a shirt. Another option is to add a semicolon in the place of the comma. And the last way to correct a comma splice is to make the second clause dependent.